So briefly, looks a bit weird. Why would everyone want to do this? Well, they're used quite often, particularly the ones I'm giving you. The tab is usually used for producing tables of numbers or well, tables basically where things are arranged in columns, as you can see, where we've got one column starting here, one column starting there, and we can have another column starting over here. So that's what it's used for, is making tables. The new line character, the backslash and the N, is another way of formatting. It's used quite often. Often you will see it at the very start of a line. Okay, so it always says start this string on a new line. That is a common use for it. The backslash, the escape character for single things like quote marks, you probably won't come across this a great deal, but if we're sending information via the internet or any sort of communications like that, these things can actually play havoc with the communications and make it crash, and so we have to escape them, put the backslash in front of them, and we do that with sending information and also retrieving information. So that is a little bit advanced, however you could come across it from time to time. So that's the print with tabs, new lines and escape characters. I'm going to close the shell, going back to my program. So now that we've learnt that, we're going to see what we can sort of do with printing. We can join or concatenate. So print hello plus world. Okay, there we've got two different strings. We've got a string called hello and a string called world, and we have joined them with the concatenate operator. I know it looks like a plus and it looks like it's going to add, but it isn't. That is concatenate means join, so it's joining those two things together. And if we save and run that program, it will just print hello world, but we haven't got a space in between, so it's printing literally what is in there. If we wanted a space, we would either have to put one at the end of hello, or we'd need to put one at the start of world. There is another method. We could join those two together instead with a comma, and that would print the second string after a space. So if I now run the program again, I've got hello space world. Okay, to change that back to a plus. Woo. Going a bit wild here. Change that back to a plus, and we get no space. Have it as a comma. We get a space. Now, Python complains if we start printing or try to join two different types together. So if I joined hello and a number 1, 2, 3, it's going to complain bitterly. There we go. Cannot concatenate, cannot join string and number objects together. However, we can get round this problem if we use a comma. It's almost like it's doing print hello and then print 1, 2, 3, two different print statements. So let's run my program again, and there you go, hello 1, 2, 3. That is one way of doing it. There are many different ways of doing it. This will probably fail, but I'm going to try and type string and 1, 2, 3. This is called casting, where I've got a number and I am converting it to a string. Okay, so I haven't put any quote marks around it. I haven't used the comma to join them together. Let's see if this works. There we go. and we've got the same thing as when we had the plus operator here. There is no space. If I wanted a space in, I've got to put it now after the O in hello. I've got no string to play with here. But that is another way of joining a string and a number, is by converting it to a string. str stands for string. So there's the first look at joining different types together and formatting with a plus symbol.